Greetings once again, my fellow Star Trek fans, my fellow modelers, and my fellow science fiction fans, also fellow lovers of everything interesting. I'd like to welcome you back to this video build, and this is actually the conclusion to the Titan. We did the Star Trek Titan build, and that would be in 1/1400 scale of the NCC-8010-2-A. And we were introduced to the Titan in Star Trek Picard, and this, of course, not being the Titan that Captain Riker served on, but a totally different ship. But because of the relative newness of the ship, and the fact that it's not offered by anyone else, I was able to find a model and purchase it. And I wanted to do the build because, you know, it's just not available yet in a model kit like from AMT or Polar Lights, but hopefully that will be addressed really soon. And I want to present to you the finished version of the U.S.S. Titan that we had done. I do the build series from the pre-ordering of this kit through the build process, the lighting plan, and everything in between, all the way up to what you see now. And what I want to do now is I want to give you guys some final thoughts on the model kit, the build, and this is actually my first time dealing with resin kit, like a garage type kit, if you will, from a printer, as opposed to being mass produced by like AMT. So I'll give you my thoughts on the whole situation, the price, the link if you want to get one or you want to pick one up. And I'll just share my overall thoughts with you and my experience building this model kit. So I'm going to take it over to the desk where there's a little bit more room. There's some more light, and I'll show you guys more detail of what I think of this magnificent ship and the model kit that we got to represent her. Okay, so we got more room over here, and just kind of turn her around to show you guys. Try to get all the views as I go over the my final thoughts on this model. Like I said, we're introduced to the Titan in Star Trek Picard, and I thought right off the bat when I first seen her that she was pretty much one of the most beautiful ships I had ever seen. And that comes back into play because she eventually becomes the flagship of the Federation. She becomes the Enterprise NCC-8010-2-A. However, I didn't want to make her the G in hopes that I can do the G once Polar Lights or Round 2 comes out with a kit of her. So I decided to keep it the A, the Titan that is. So what I ended up doing is a friend of mine, Nathan, and Nathan, if you're watching, thank you so much. He actually told me about this model kit and the company that was selling it. The company is called Horner Shipyards, and what it is like, it's like a really big Star Trek fan who kind of provides us things that no other company does, like things that we want. And obviously the Titan was brand new, and there was nothing else that was available on this ship unless it was like 3D printed. So I had gone to the website and I was looking at some of their models that they offered in their 3D printed resin, and there are a lot of them that they're impossible to light. And one of my big things is I love lighting my models, no matter what it is. I've done fighter planes to Star Trek models, and I just love lighting them. And this is no exception. So when I was looking at this, I noticed that this was the first model that they offered that we actually could light. Yeah, it would take a little bit of work and some drilling, but we're still able to do it. Like you can see the windows, as well as some of the parts being molded in clear resin. Well, not molded, 3D printed. So I decided to get the kit, and I wanted to do something special for her, so I wanted to get the Aztecing. So they offered the Aztec decal set, and the total price for everything I think was $211, so it was pretty expensive. Now, with that, you know, that's really expensive. So I finally get it in the mail and I'm all excited. Well, when I opened it up, I had never gotten a resin kit before. I'm so used to the 3D printed one, the molded plastic. I must say, when I first looked at the pieces, I thought it was impressive because they were really clean. It's a different kind of material. I found that out when I was drilling it, also painting it, and just different things about resin that's totally different from what I used to with plastic. As expensive as this kit was, it did not come with instructions, which, you know, you may figure, well, putting the Enterprise together, or a spaceship like this together, is not that hard, but I still would have liked, there are a couple of pieces that I still have that I'm not sure where they would go, or where they would have gone. They're almost like dome lights. And it doesn't come with a base. And again, it was pretty expensive to not come with a stand. Let me turn her around for you and show you the other side. But I ended up using one of my extra polar lights dome base with the metal support rod. And you can see, because this model, this section over here, the saucer section, right where the seam is, that's all solid resin. So it's really thick. That's why it made it nearly impossible for me to try to drill and put lights in for the beacons, the port and the starboard. So with that being said, the way the model went together, this is very, very front heavy. So I had to re-drill the hole to make it a little bit larger so I could put the base in, the stand, the support rod. But, and again, the material is different than plastic, and I didn't want to push my luck. And the way the ship sits now, it's still in there, but it goes way forward, just because it's not meant to be on the base. But my final thoughts on this model as a whole: I love the ship. I can't wait until they do the Enterprise G. I'm very much looking forward to that. And yeah, this model isn't perfect. There are plenty of mistakes on it, but it was fun building. It was something new. Am I going to go out and buy another resin kit? I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the resin, but I am a big fan of the Titan. So my friends, I hope you enjoyed this build series. I hope you had as much fun watching as I did building it. And hopefully, like I said, we get the Enterprise G from Polar Lights around 2. Matter of fact, I'm still waiting to get the notification where I can pre-order Kronos 1, and that's going to be a really fun build. So my friends, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the kind words. And until my next Star Trek video, have fun and make it so.